Hello everybody, this is a video about order of operations with integers. I'll be your host, Mr. Shirley, the Bearded Wonder. Now please make a brief note as you're going through this. I know for most of you this will be review, but you should jot down a few things as we're going. Okay, make sure you put a title and a date on there. It looks pretty and it makes everyone happy, especially me, and that's what really matters here. I think we all know that. So, learning goal is to apply the steps of BEDMAS, to integers. Remember, that's brackets, exponents, division, and multiplication. Those can be done at the same, those are equivalent steps, and addition and subtraction, which again are equivalent steps. So division and multiplication, remember, we're doing left to right as they come. Addition and subtraction, same thing, left to right as they come. Okay, and we'll do a few examples so you get to refresh your memory on that one. Okay, now very quick refresher. No, you don't need to write this down, although you could if you want to. If we do positive times a positive, we get a positive. Positive times negative, we get a negative. Negative times positive, we also get a negative. Negative times negative, we get a positive. Okay, so if the signs are the same, you get positive. Signs are different, you end up with negative. Okay, so please keep that in mind as we're going through these questions. All right, one other thing to recall is just the meaning of exponents, especially as it applies to integers. Okay, so 5 squared, just if you recall from previously, so without any of the signs in there just means 5 times 5. Okay, and of course, this equals 25, okay, not 10. Okay, we're just going to put a frowny face on that one, really very sad looking frowny face. Maybe some angry eyebrows. Not 10, okay? So you don't just do 5 times 2. You do 5 times 5. Okay, the 2 is telling you how many 5s there are that you're multiplying together. All right, but you do the same thing when you come to negative 5 to the exponent 2. Okay, so that means negative 5 times negative 5. Please keep careful note of where the brackets are when you're doing integers with exponents. Okay, and we'll see that in one of the examples in just a moment. So negative 5 times negative 5 is also going to equal 25. Remember, negative times a negative equals a positive. Okay, so also equals 25. Now, remember to follow the BEDMAS steps properly. Okay, we've done this several times this year already with just, we'll call them regular numbers, whole numbers back near the start of the year. We did this with fractions. Now we're doing this again with integers. Okay, so just applying slightly different numbers, but the same steps. Okay, so first you can see some brackets, so we need to do that first. Now I suggest that you write out everything that you're not changing as you go so that things don't kind of vanish in the middle of your question. It's also a lot easier for me to read and your future teachers in high school as well. Okay, so please get in the habit of doing something like this so it's easy to track your numbers. Okay, so first step in the brackets, negative 3 times negative 4 equals positive 12. I guess I should have said before we started that it would be great if you paused the video and tried out this question before I answered it. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. You could do it now. Either way, it's up to you. So we got the one in the brackets. Typically, the negative 3 squared, we wouldn't consider being something in brackets because of the exponent. You consider that an exponent. But since it's not really connected to the brackets, we could have done all that in the same step if you wanted to. Okay, so remember, the negative 3 is in the brackets, so it's negative 3 squared. You leave the subtraction sign in front, stays as it is. That does not get involved with that exponent. Okay, so the negative 3 times negative 3 gets positive 9. Okay, and then you just do a little bit of fraction, addition, and subtraction using whichever method you like best based on what we've done the past week or week and a half. So negative 5 plus positive 12, so positive 7, and then subtract negative 9 ends up at negative 2. Okay, so we'll do one more example, and then you will be off to the races. So please take a moment, try this one out before we do it. Okay, I'll assume you did that. Now remember, this sign in the middle, yes, it sort of looks like a fraction, but basically you can treat it as a division sign when things are put like this, I know I have square brackets on there, but if they were not there, it's often best to treat it as though they were. Okay, treat it like there are brackets around the top and brackets all the way around the bottom, because you're going to want to finish the top and finish the bottom before you combine them together if you can. Okay, so we'll start with, because they're not really connected either way too much, we can just do both steps at the same time there. So -1 times -2 equals +2. Remember, when it's brackets side by side, like my example here, that implies multiplying. I'm just going to write that in there. Okay, so it implies multiplying. All right, I want to differentiate this just for a moment from this. Okay, when there's no brackets here, this over here would be treated as -1 subtract 2. Okay, and the answer to that would be -3. All right, but when it's all in brackets like this, it means you're multiplying them together. Okay, so I hope that's clear a little bit. Just so that you're more comfortable with what you're going to see. So we end up with +2 plus 6 over -4. So the +2 plus 6 is +8, and -4 on the bottom, and then I'm just dropping the square brackets because they don't really serve much of a purpose at this point. And then you divide that to get an answer of -2. Okay, so try these questions in the homework. Please go through them carefully, step by step. It's very easy to make a mistake, but they're also not terribly complicated either. Okay, you just have to be careful as you're doing them. So please let me know if you have any questions through all the regular ways you would let me know you have any questions, and we will talk a bit more about these during our meetings this week. Have a great day. Thanks for listening.